Thank you so much. Thank you for that, for those smart and insightful words from Secretary Gordon England. I think there's a theme starting to be formed here today, and that is about the human element. And cyber is not just technology. It's a lot about people and connecting people with technology. And I think that's going to be one of the themes for the whole conference this week. And now, before I introduce our next speaker, I'd like to let you know that after we hear from our fantastic speakers that we have lined up, we're going to have a panel discussion. And in that panel discussion, I really look forward to investigate the questions of the peculiar situation of innovation in Israel, what's happening with innovation in defense companies, and what are going to be the next big technologies and trends that security vendors and organizations are going to have to deal with. And with that, I'd like to welcome our next speaker, Mrs. Esti Peshin. It is my distinct honor and pleasure to introduce Esti, as she is one of the leading ladies of the cybersecurity industry in Israel. As there are not so many first ladies, I think Esti is one of them. And she's the director of the cyber program at Israeli Aerospace Industries. In addition to that, as if that's not hard work enough, Esti serves as the Director General as a pro bono role for the Israeli High-Tech Caucus. That means it's the Israeli high-tech lobby group in the Israeli Knesset. Prior to that, Esti was involved in strategic management consulting, in private equity investment, and executive positions with multiple security companies. She also served for 11 years in the Israeli Army as a deputy director of the elite technology unit in the Israeli Defense Force. Please help me welcoming Esti to the stage. Thank you. Stage is...
So that was a bit of a spoiler. Moving on to the next slide. So hello everyone. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you very much for taking the time to listen to us. I hope you can hear me okay because I hear myself twice. Can you? Great. So I'm going to speak a little bit about fostering innovation in defense contractors. As Karen mentioned, I work for IAI, Israeli Aerospace Industries. It's a defense contractor, a large one, relatively large one, extremely large if we compare to other Israeli companies. And using Karen's image, I work for a 500-pound gorilla. I think that was what you said. So how do you foster cyber innovation within a defense contractor? So first, we need to answer the question of whether we need to do that. Do we actually need to foster innovation? Or why is innovation critical in the cyber arena? And in order to understand this point, I'd like you to meet a friend of mine, Mr. Hacker. Now, many of you have already seen this slide, but usually at this point of time, I introduce Mr. Hacker, who is working for us. He's a well-known hacker called Guy Mizrahi, but he's currently not in this panel because he is helping managing the cyber challenge that is happening simultaneously in another room. So this hacker here is a bad guy, unlike Guy, a white hat hacker. And maybe he's seated somewhere in Europe in a coffee shop connecting to the internet through a wireless network. And he's aided by three aspects in cyberspace. First and foremost, the ease of establishing fake identities within cyberspace. Now, some of you know it. We already mentioned it in various talks, but we established a fake identity about a year and a half ago in Facebook. It was a lady, an English lady called Melanie Deluc, French origin, completely fake, operated by yours truly. And within 48 hours, this lady had 150 friends, 48 hours. It's as simple as that. The second aspect of cyberspace that helps the bad guys is the fact that cyberspace is huge. There are huge amounts of data within cyberspace. So it's very easy to mask malicious activity within the huge amounts of data. And finally, cyberspace as a whole is encrypted and controlled by corporation. So it's very easy to hide within cyberspace. Now, the hackers have another advantage on their side, and that's the fact that they collaborate, they share information. As Secretary England mentioned, we are less prone to do so. The industry is less collaborative by nature, is less willing to share information. So how do we foster innovation within a defense industry? So first and foremost, when we established the Cyber Directorate in IAI, formally established about 1.5 years ago, we started wrapping our minds around the cyber situation, so to speak. And initially, we perceived this as a relatively new domain. But when we started looking into it a little more deeply, we understood that cyber is an evolution, not only a revolution. When we look at cyber as an evolution of the electronic warfare arena, then a lot of capabilities, a lot of technologies are quite similar or answer similar problems. Now, here you can see a slide which basically tries to create a common language between electronic warfare and cyber warfare. But today, most of the experts working for us on cyber-related problems are ones that grew up in the electronic warfare legacy capabilities. Now, we understood that looking into our in-house innovation capabilities, evolving our capabilities is insufficient, and we decided that it would be a good idea to establish cyber innovation centers, research and development centers, emphasizing the word research. So initially, we tapped into our in-house research and technology department. It's a department staffed by, mostly by PhDs in various domains of exact science. And they are researching high-end analytics for cyber. But on top of that, we understood that we need to bring to the table some white-hat hacking capabilities. Now, the truth of the matter is that hackers do not know how to develop systems. Hackers know how to ruin systems. Hackers know how to look at systems. They do not know how to develop systems, how to develop sustainable systems over time. So when we established our innovation centers that are staffed by hackers, we understood that the hackers need to focus on developing prototypes, and the prototypes would later need to be productized by the IAI engineers. So the first center we established was in collaboration with a company called Cyberia. Cyberia is staffed by 6 hackers, the best of the best in Israel. And we established together with them the Cyber Accessibility Center. It's a cost center, completely funded by IAI, but it is a separate company. It's not a subsidiary. And they are developing prototypes for us. Then we understood that we need to tap also into other regions. And we established IAI's Cyber Early Warning Center in Singapore. It's a research and development center staffed mostly by local talent, although the general manager is Israeli and some of the key personnel there are Israeli. And the Cyber Early Warning Center in Singapore is researching cyber early warning related problems, related challenges. And I can share with you that we are currently looking at where next to establish another cyber innovation center that will probably focus on other technologies, other areas, other challenges within cyberspace. Finally, and I think this is the key point, when we look at cyber, there are 2 key factors. One key factor is the innovation. The other key factor is collaboration. Now, Israel is sizzling with innovation. There are many startups. Some of these startups consist of 3 guys in a garage. And most of this innovation may not reach the end users, may not reach the customers. It's very difficult for 3 guys in a garage to get FaceTime with a customer. It's even more difficult for them to sell a solution to the customer. And I'm sure you're all aware of the sales cycles. Today, when you sell cyber technology, you need to proof of concept it. You need to provide a very robust engineering approach to the customer. You need to explain why they should choose specifically this solution and not other ones. So these startups are having a difficult time reaching the customers. And we try to help them. It helps us as well because it allows us to bring very innovative technologies to our customers. It helps the startups because it gives them face time with actual customers and hopefully allows them to run prototypes in high-end customers' location. It's important to mention, and I think this is a good lesson learned from our experience. We do not white label. We bring the startups under their own names to the customers. We feel that it's important that they get the actual face time, but we take responsibility. We test the solutions, we test the capabilities, and the customer has IAI's backing. So if by the remote possibility that something will happen to the startup, they will close, there will be someone that will support it. We collaborate also with other Israeli companies. Collaboration is a key factor with the academia, with our customers. We have several research and development programs we currently run with customers. We like to think about challenges. Our customers sometimes come to us with questions which we later define as challenges for our various groups of innovation, both in-house and out of IAI, in order to come up with possible solutions. I will end my 10 minutes, and Karen is a tough moderator, so I better stick to the schedule by sharing with you a story. About 4 months ago, one of our most important customers visited IAI, and we had lunch with him. And we presented to him some of our most innovative technologies. He was very impressed, and over lunch he kind of came to me and asked me, well, Esti, so you're running a startup actually. And I told him, well, yes, I'm running a startup, but I'm running it within a very large company and with the backing of a very large company. And this is basically the key. Having the ability to innovate, to tap into the entire ecosystem, to tap into the in-house research and development capabilities, but to do it with the backing of a very, very large company, a very large 500-pound gorilla, if you will. Thank you very much.